Ninth Standard Hydrosphere Geography 4th lesson. We are going to see in this lesson understand about the importance of water, to know about the fresh water, to know about the relief features of ocean floor, to recognize the movements of ocean water, and about to understand marine resources and the need for conservation. About this, we are going to see in this lesson. Our planet Earth consists of four spheres, that is, lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. Already we have studied about the lithosphere and atmosphere in the previous lessons. Now in this lesson, we are going to see about hydrosphere and biosphere. Now we'll see what is hydrosphere. Earth is called as the blue planet because it holds water in abundance. Hydrosphere consists of water in various forms found on the earth, like glaciers, ocean, ice caps, groundwater, river, lakes, and also the as the water vapor in air. This is the way we have seen the different forms of water. Nearly 97% of the water on the earth's surface is covered by ocean. 97% of the water on the earth is covered by ocean. Less than 3% of water is held on land, like glaciers, ice caps, groundwater, etc. Now we'll see about hydrological cycle. What is hydrological cycle? It means the continuous movement of water on, above, and below the earth's surface is called the hydrological cycle. It means the movement of the water on the earth's surface or below the surface and above the surface. It is called as hydrological cycle. There are the three major processes involved in the water cycle or hydrological cycle. They are evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Water resources of the earth can be divided into fresh water and salt water. What is fresh water? That is rainwater is called as fresh water. Rainwater is considered to be the purest form of water. It contains very less proportion of salts when compared to the ocean and seas. So it is called as fresh water. A major part of fresh water is found in the frozen state in the form of ice caps and glaciers. Oceans. The continents and oceans are not evenly distributed in the northern and southern hemisphere. The northern hemisphere holds 61% of land and 39% of water, whereas the southern hemisphere holds 81% of water and 19% of land. So, the northern hemisphere is called as land hemisphere and southern hemisphere is called as water hemisphere because of northern hemisphere hold more land, then southern hemisphere holds more water, so it is called like land hemisphere and water hemisphere. Ocean basins are characterized by the different major relief features, like first one Continental Shelf, second one Continental Slope, third one Continental Rise, fourth one Deep Sea Plain or Abyssal Plain, fifth one Oceanic Deep, sixth one Oceanic Ridge. This is what the different characterization of the major relief features. Now we'll see one by one. Characterization of the relief features of the ocean is first one, continental shelf. What is continental shelf? That is the area of land under the sea. The area of the land under the sea on the edge of the continent. The area of the land under the sea on the edge of the continent. That area is called as continental shelf. There are the more important about the continental shelf. Why? They are the shallower, that is not so depth area. Continental shelf is a shallower because that is not very depth. So sunlight enables to penetrate throughout the water. This encourages abundant growth of grass, seaweeds and plankton. Hence, these zones become the richest fishing grounds in the world. Example, Grand Banks of Newfoundland. Second reason why it is important of the continental shelf area is this is extensive deposits of minerals and mineral fuels in the continental shelf. That is more deposits of minerals and mineral fuels in the continental shelf area. So this zone becomes accessible for oil drilling and mining activities. Example, Mumbai High in Arabian Sea. Continental slope. Second part is continental slope. It forms a boundary between the continental crust and the oceanic crust. So this area between the continental crust and oceanic crust. The most important characteristics of continental slope is the presence of deep canyons. It means deep valleys in the continent. Canyons, it means deep valleys in the oceans and trenches. So the most important characteristic of continental slope is the presence of deep canyons and trenches. Due to the low penetration of sunlight, the slope has nearly freezing temperature. So aquatic life has very slow rate of metabolism in the continental slope due to the less penetration of sunlight. Continental rise. The area between the continental slope and abyssal plains, it means underwater plains, is called continental rise. It consists of submarine fans, which are similar to the alluvial fans found on the land. It means totally it is the area of the alluvial area in the ocean. Continental rise area is consist of alluvial soil area, which you can found in the continental rise area. Now fourth one is deep sea plains or abyssal plains. The deep sea plains or abyssal plains or underwater plains found on the deep ocean floor. These plains are usually covered by the thick layer of sediments composed of clay, silt and sand brought by the rivers. So in the deep sea plains area or abyssal plains area, you can see more sediments. That is sediment, it means it consists of clay, silt and sand brought by the rivers. Now fifth one is oceanic deep or oceanic trenches. Trenches are the deepest part of the ocean. The ocean temperature in the trench is slightly cooler than the freezing temperature as they are sediment free. So in this area no sediment. Most trenches are V-shaped with steep sides. This area is epicenter of the great earthquakes are all found in the trenches. So in the area is the epicenter for the great earthquakes. Oceanic Ridge. Oceanic Ridge is a continuous submarine mountain chain. It means under the ocean there are the mountains. So in the Oceanic Ridge area is called as the submarine mountain chain. They are made up of young basaltic rock formed when two tectonic plates moves away. So in the area two tectonic plates are move apart or move away. Two of the most well-known mid-ocean ridges are the Mid-Atlantic Ridges and the East Pacific Ridge. The, the two most important ocean ridges are Mid-Atlantic Ridge and the East Pacific Ridge. Now we'll see about the movement of the ocean water. The ocean water is dynamic. It means changeable due to the temperature, salinity, density, external forces of the sun, moon, and the winds. Keep the ocean waters in movement, both horizontally and vertically. So, ocean water is moved by horizontally and vertically. Waves and currents are in the horizontal motion, and tides have vertical motion. See about waves. All the movements of the oceans, sea waves are considered to be the strongest. Sea waves are ripples. It means small waves on water. Because when wind blows over the sea, because of the wind blows over the sea, due to this, the small waves caused. The height of these waves depends upon the speed of the wind. Sometimes waves are also caused by shaking or tremors felt on the ocean floor. Sometimes waves are also caused by shaking or tremors felt on the ocean floor. Due to that, such waves are quite destructive and called tsunami. This tremors or shaking of the ocean floor. Due to that, waves are quite destructive and called tsunami. Now we'll see about tides, the periodic rise and fall of the sea water due to the gravitational pull of the sun, moon, and earth are called tides. That is tides, it means periodic rise and fall of the sea water. Why periodically rise and fall of the sea water occurs? Due to the gravitational pull of the sun, moon, and the earth. So the tides occurs. They are classified into spring tides and neap tides. When the sun, moon, and earth are aligned in the same line, the collective gravitation pull of the sun and moon on the earth's water strengthen to form a high tide. It is known as spring tide. That is moon, sun, earth or comes in the same line. The collective gravitation pull of the sun and the moon on the earth's water, it makes to form a high tide. It is known as spring tide. Such tides always occur on full moon and the new moon days. When the sun and the moon are at right angles, their gravitational force work against each other, causing low tide. High tide, why it occurs? Because of the sun, moon, and the earth are in the same line. Due to the gravitational pull of the sun, moon on the earth's water, it makes a high tide. It makes the water strengthen, so high tides forms. It is known as spring tide. This spring tides forms only in the full moon and new moon day. Now low tides, it is called as neap tide. Why neap tides and low tides occurs? Because of the sun and the moon are at the right angles. Their gravitational force work against each other. So low tide or neap tide forms. A neap tide occurs between two spring tides. That is twice a month when the first and last quarter moon appears. So this is called as neap tide or low tide. Now we'll see about the ocean currents. The movement of the ocean water on the surface and at the depth in the definite direction is called ocean current. Ocean current, it means movement of the oceanic water on the surface and at the depth in the definite directions is called ocean current. Ocean currents are in clockwise motion in the northern hemisphere and anti-clockwise in the southern hemisphere. Why ocean current occurs? Because of the Earth's rotation, prevailing winds or wind blows, and differences in nature and salinity of ocean water. Due to that is earth rotation, prevailing winds or wind blows, then differences in temperature and salinity of ocean water. Due to that, ocean current occurs. On the basis of the temperature, ocean currents are classified into warm ocean currents and cold ocean currents. The movement of the ocean current from the low latitude to high latitude is called warm ocean current. The movement of the ocean currents from the low latitudes to high latitude is called warm ocean current. Example, Gulf Stream in Atlantic Ocean. Now we'll say marine resources. What is marine resources? It means biotic and abiotic resources. Biotic and abiotic resources, it means living organism and non-living organism are found in the oceanic water and at the bottoms are called marine resources. So marine resources, it means biotic and abiotic resources. It means like living and non-living organisms found in the oceanic water and at the bottom of the sea are called marine resources. The ocean resources are play important role for needs of the society. A diverse range of marine organism is used for food, medicine, cosmetics, and a wealth of industrial applications. So, different organisms, marine organisms, are uses for the food, medicine, cosmetics, and a wealth of the industrial applications. The world's demand for energy, minerals, and water have become increasingly depend on non-living marine organisms. Marine resources, that is energy resources, mineral resources, biological resources. Under the energy resources, we get energy like fuels, energy fuels, tidal energy, water energy, etc. etc. Under mineral resources, we are getting petroleum, natural gas, metallic minerals, sand, gravel, etc. And from biological resources, we get fishes, planktons, seagrass, coral, etc. Conservation of marine resources. Why should we conserve the marine resources? Because humankind depends on the marine resources for its survival. They are also essential for the economic prosperity, social well-being, and quality of life. Oceans have extensive deposit of oil reserves. In the ocean, there are more oil reserves are there. More fishing grounds. It helps in generating non-conventional energy. Development of ports and harbors for trade activities. Coastal tourism also attracts people around the world, thereby contributing to the economy of many countries. Due to the coastal tourism, more people are visiting and also contributing to the economy of the many countries.